Hello and welcome to another episode of Raising Healthy Mothers. I saw a post in a Facebook group recently that really stopped me in my tracks. So someone shared that she went to her GP because she thought she might be potentially going through the perimenopause and was thinking about HRT. So she was having brain fog, shorter cycles, migraines, hip pain. She was like, I'm a little bit stressed. I've got young children. I've got a job, so I'm juggling it all. But that isn't manageable. But she was told by her GP that at 41, she was told she was too young from HRT and that she should come back at 45. And he suggested antidepressants and counseling instead. And she said that she was shocked. She didn't really feel like she was depressed. She said she was a bit stressed because she had young children, a job, busy life, like so many of us. But she felt like she was managing and she was just confused because she thought that it was something like perimenopause and that maybe she could get help for it. And it stopped me in my tracks because I thought that actually there was a lot more sympathy in the sort of medical world to women's hormones now. And I did have a read of the NICE guidelines to see what the recommendations are. So in this episode, I just thought I would talk to you a little bit about perimenopause and what, as a nutritional therapist, I can help with when it comes to it. Now, obviously, if you are noticing any symptoms or hormonal changes, please do go and see your GP, even if that story that I've just told you feels a bit off-putting. Look, not all GPs are the same. Maybe this one is a bit of an anomaly. So don't just dismiss it. It's absolutely worth going to talk to your GP about it. But being told that your symptoms are just stress, just being given antidepressants or counseling is not particularly helpful if you're feeling like something major is going on. Perimenopause isn't something that just happens suddenly at the age of 45 that suddenly allows you to go on HRT. Perimenopause is a gradual recalibration of your hormones and changes in your body that can begin as early as your late 30s. And what's actually happening isn't that your hormones are like shutting down and stopping, it's that they're becoming a little bit more erratic and unpredictable. To start off with, progesterone starts to decline first because you're not ovulating as regularly, and then estrogen starts to spike and crash in response. And these fluctuations ripple through every system: your brain, your mood, your energy, your sleep, even how you handle stress and blood sugar. So, that brain fog, the shorter cycles, the hip pain, the migraines that this person mentioned in the Facebook group, it's not just stress or just something to be expected because you're a mum of young kids. They're your body adjusting to the change in hormones. Now, as I said, I did think that the medical system was doing better with supporting women in perimenopause. But what this story tells me is that it really does depend on who you actually get to see, which really sucks because you don't know until they tell you what they think is going on and what they think you should do. And until you know that what you're experiencing could be something else rather than just depression and stress. Perhaps the issue is that the medical model can be a little bit binary. You're either ill or you're not. Your hormones are either on or they're off. You're fertile or you're menopausal. But perimenopausal is that in between. It's the dance between your brains, your ovaries, your adrenal glands, and it can go on for years and it can start subtly. And look, it's not about blaming GPs here. They are working within very, very constrained circumstances, short appointment times, fast changing understanding of female hormones, without the time to really be able to deep dive into it in the way that I know many GPs would love to. Like, I know that a lot of GPs are not dismissive. I know a lot of GPs deeply, deeply care. They are doing the job because they want to be there and they want to help you. But doing it in 10-minute appointment times is really tricky. And especially when the guidelines say that you don't want to be offering HRT until a woman is over 45 unless there is a specific reason to. So I did have a look at the NICE guidelines and they're actually good. They do really talk about listening to the individual in front of you, making sure that it is personalized and truly listening to the person that is talking to you and understanding their situation. Like, those are solid guidelines. Those are good guidelines to go by. But of course, when a doctor only has 10 minutes, that can be really hard, especially if you're not the kind of person that goes to the doctor all the time and sees the same doctor. It takes time to open up and to create a rapport. And so, of course, it is going to be hard to not feel like they can't truly listen to you in the way that you would like to. So it does mean that perhaps a lot of women are leaving appointments feeling like they're imagining things rather than having a helping hand to solve things. But I know that you're not imagining it. You're not, I know those symptoms feel very real to you and that it feels not great to be told that, oh, maybe you're just depressed, you need to go on medication. That's not what you want. And this is where, from a nutritional point of view, Making changes to nutrition and lifestyle can make such a difference, because when you support your blood sugar and you manage your cortisol stress hormones and nourish your nervous system, you can feel more stable day to day. Because, yes, stress and the juggle of work and life and children does play a part, because when your nervous system is in high alert all the time, then that is going to have a knock on effect on your hormones. So, when you do things like eating enough protein at every single meal to keep your blood sugar steady, making sure that you're eating a big, wide variety of vegetables, especially cruciferous vegetables, to help with that hormone clearance, when you're supporting your gut health with fiber and fermented food, and when you prioritize strength training and nervous system management, these are all powerful tools. And if sleep is a problem or you have anxiety creeping in, then of course there are nutrients and vitamins and calming herbs that can really help buffer your stress response and support your mood. And this transitional phase, doesn't have to feel like everything's falling apart. It's your body asking for a new kind of care. And perhaps what used to happen in our 20s and 30s just doesn't work anymore. And we need to adapt and we need to change. And getting support to do that is really important. Perimenopause isn't like some kind of sudden cliff that you are just going to fall off. It's a transition. And there's so much you can do nutritionally and lifestyle wise to support your body through it and feel much better day to day, so that you do have the energy to play with your kids and the brain power to like maybe start up a new hobby or go and start a new exercise regime or whatever it is that you really want to do. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Raising Healthy Mothers. And if this episode resonated, please share it with a friend who might be feeling the same way, because we all deserve better than wait until you're 45. This episode was a nice and short one, and I hope it helped you to understand a little bit more about what might be going on.